Well, hello everyone. Welcome. As always, we'll give it a few minutes for people to hop in here and get notified. Tiffany, Leslie, Medcow, Curtis, Chris, Carol, Alex, Bob, Garden, Bear, Bottom, Aquariums, UPS or Scott, Glitch, Curtis, again, Suzanne, Marvin, if you're still here, hello, welcome. I appreciate everyone hanging out in the chat beforehand. I was lurking in my own chat. Let's see, we already have a question about breeding Danios somewhere. Where did that go? Stream, so nice, I liked it twice. Anyone ever bred zebra Danios? Negative. I've never bred Danios on purpose. Boss Hog coming in at like noon today saying I'm late again. Actually, I think I was right on time for once at 5 o'clock, so I think you're just a little early there, buddy, but that's all right. Community tanks are the best tanks. I absolutely agree 1000%. Just an FYI, only going for an hour today, not a 2-hour stream, just a 1-hour stream. That is just for this week. Hopefully next week we'll be back to 2 hours. Little under the weather, kind of tired, so I'm gonna only go for an hour today. Texas Fish Room, what's up, buddy? Frank from New York City. And Kang Lee is here too. Kang, I hope the store is doing good, my friend. I saw you had to shut down for a little bit. Hopefully things are back up and going well for you. If you don't know, Twin Cities Guppies opened a fish store in a mall somewhere in Twin Cities. So if you're local, go find his store in a mall. Just go to every single mall until you find his store and buy some guppies. Amanda, hello. Tiger Bite, hello. Wonderful. Simply wonderful. Some dude says, hey Bob, my Sahul rainbow fish and schooling and getting along greatly with, my Sahul rainbow fish and schooling and getting along. Are schooling and getting along, maybe are, not and. All right. Let's try that again. My Sahul rainbow fish are schooling and getting along greatly with Pseudomogale gertrude. I asked you about it if they can cohabitate a while ago. That is good news. Glad to hear it. I'm always a little nervous putting bigger rainbows with Pseudomogales, but I'm glad that worked out. Not that Sahuls are like, large, like turquoise rainbow fish or anything, but still, it's good to hear. They sell stir fry at McDonald's? Maybe. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you the last time I've been to a McDonald's. Twin Cities Guppy says, well, a hard time with all the kids getting COVID, but we are all good now. That is good. Doobie-doo. Camantha says, oh, I'm local. I'll take a looky look. All right. Now, if Kang Lee would just say what mall his store is in, so we don't have to travel to every mall in Minnesota to find it. I feel like I should know that, but you know what? I don't live in Minnesota, so I don't know that. Just got home. Hope all is well. Blue Cat, welcome to the stream. 503 Aquatics, welcome. Picked up a small blue Phantom Pleco a week or so ago, and I'm in love with it. It's so blue. Well, it's going to lose the blue, my friend. I hate to say it, but they're still blue, but as adults, they're definitely not as vibrant as when they are juveniles. But it's still cool blue. It just gets a little faded, a little pastel, but you should get a green Phantom Pleco to go with it. And you have a blue one and a green one. I believe there is one that's sold as a yellow, but to me, it looks like a green. But Maplewood Mall, there you go. Maplewood Mall. LRB Aquatics has a video showing Plecos and gertrude. Yeah, I don't doubt that many of them wouldn't get along. It's just that some rainbow fish are a little bit more fin-nippier than other species of rainbow fish, and Pseudomogales are generally pretty small and fragile. We're at the Maplewood Mall, lower level by Kohl's. Your mall has levels? Dang. None of my malls have levels. That's crazy. The two closest malls to me, one has like 6 stores in it, and it's just empty. And the other one is working on it. It's trying to get empty. And yours has levels. That's crazy. Connor wants to know what my favorite goby is, and also do male rainbow Steenfott gobies fight? Generally speaking, there may be some territorialist issues. I've never kept Steenfott gobies, but usually they're okay to keep in groups, granted that you're not keeping like 10 males in a 5-gallon tank. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be doing that. As long as they have enough room to establish their own territories, they'll be fine. They're generally not aggressive. The blue Panac catfish is a very blue alternative. Yes, the blue Panac is one of my favorite Plecos, the L239. Those things are basically bulletproof. In my opinion, they're almost as bulletproof as like a clown Pleco. Super hardy. Why isn't Geophagus pronounced like esophagus? I have no idea. His other mall has roller coasters and a whole aquarium. Why not put the store in the mall with the roller coaster? I don't know, Kangley. I think you missed the boat on that one. You could have you have 2 malls to choose from, and you chose the one without the aquarium and without the roller coaster. I don't know, man. I don't know. Knoxville, Tennessee has 2 levels. Bellevue Square Mall has a multi-levels. I don't know. I thought malls were dying. Didn't Amazon kill malls? I don't know. They seem to have killed all the malls around here. Carmel's Creation. So, Dan is the best at shipping fish. This was definitely out of his control. Try again at a later time. Oh, what happened? What happened is I don't have my link for Dan's fish up. Where is the Zen Ginger to yell at me? Holy smokes. Let's log in. I'm not a robot. Ugh. So annoying. But anyways, did I miss something? What seems to be the problem here? I don't see your comment. Very interesting. Oh, my third order from Dan's Fish was delayed 5 days due to weather and local COVID outbreak. Unfortunately, I opened up a box of death. I'm really nervous to buy fish online again. He'll probably take care of you, I would imagine. But yes, Dan is definitely the best. He has like a 99.9% survival rate. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it. I mean, stuff happens. This is not a good time of year to be ordering live animals to begin with. With the various weather issues across the country. So it's a little more risky, but I'm sure Dan will take care of you. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Got to link this comment. Speaking of Dan's Fish, there's the link. I'll pin that message. And we're off. Are you in top chat or live chat? Seems like you're jumping around a bit. I am in live chat, sir, and I'm kind of just jumping around. Like, I pretty much just always jump around. There was a time when I would just speed read these all in order, but a lot of it, like Zen Ginger swearing, I'm not going to read that one, but yeah, I do kind of hop around a bit more. But that's all right. I usually get to all of them eventually. I have a 2-level mall and a 3-level mall. Miss Hoity-Toity over here in her tri-level malls. Hot in Australia today? I just imagine that it's hot in Australia every single day. Like, even in the winter. It doesn't matter. Texas Fish Room having his share of issues. I generally will not order live animals in January. I kind of broke that rule. If you watched my last video, I did order some geckos. It was just one. They were a super good deal, and I've been looking for them for a long time, so I couldn't pass it up. And I paid for overnight FedEx guaranteed delivery by 10:30, and there was some miscommunications because I ordered them and the weather was cold, so I agreed to pick them up at the FedEx location, but then they ended up canceling the shipment anyways because the hub shut down or something like that. So we waited a week, and then it was warm here, and so I didn't need to hold for pickup. And so they shipped it. When I asked for them to reship it, I was like, any of these 2 days will be fine. The weather's perfect. So they shipped it. I assumed they were shipping it to my house. They still assumed that I was doing hold for pickup. So it was hold for pickup, but the tracking said that it was being delivered by 10:30 a.m. So I was just sitting around waiting. And then at 10:30, of course, it didn't show up. And then the tracking changed and said, and mind you, it said out for delivery this whole time. It said delivered by the end of the day. So I'm like, all right. Well, of course, like 8 o'clock rolls around and it's not delivered. And I'm just like, all right. So I log on and I check everything. It says, being delivered to my address, out for delivery. And then, of course, at like midnight, it changed to delayed with no estimated time of delivery. So I'm like, well, that's just great. Well, it turns out it was at the FedEx office the whole time waiting for me to pick it up. And I'm like, why would it say out for delivery? Why would it say guaranteed delivery by 10:30? Why would it then say guaranteed delivery by 8 if they were not delivering it at all? So that was kind of frustrating. You think in their tracking, in their order, it would say like ready for pickup maybe? That seems to make more sense to me. But what do I know? I'm just a dummy on YouTube. Ginger Crumble with the $10 super chat says, please hit the like. Yes, please hit the like. Don't forget to hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Leslie Perry with the $5 super chat says, I have 3 Corys that are different types and they sit in the corner. If I add 6, do they have to be the same kind or will they start to school? So they do know, they do prefer their own kind, but they are very social and they will school with any types of Corydoras. But that being said, when they're observed in the wild, they're almost always observed with their own kind. So, in all these rivers, there's 100 different types of Corydoras, and they're always with their same kind. So, but they will get along with other types, and they will school. So, whatever. It's not a huge deal, but definitely the more the merrier, even if they're not the same type. Darth Maul is my favorite Maul. Banjo cats be on gravel. Freshwater, I have my banjo cats in gravel and they do just fine. I've kept them in sand and gravel. They definitely seem to enjoy sand, but they make a big mess in sand. But they have no issues, at least with the size of gravel I have. It's like pea gravel. They have no issues burrowing in that. But as long as they can burrow, that's really all that you want, because they love to burrow. Steve said, order trophies this month. Came in cold. 1 out of 10 didn't make it. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, especially when you finally see something that's maybe been out of stock for like a year, and it finally comes in stock in January. It seems like that's how it always works. And you just can't. I couldn't resist. But if they would have like decent tracking, or at least tracking that has some sort of common sense, like out for delivery, guaranteed delivery by 8 o'clock means that I'm not going to drive down into, like, the local FedEx store is not local to me at all, so it's a bit of a drive. FedEx wants to make things as difficult as possible. I'm telling you, like, I ordered some skates, and they sat in Oregon in Troutdale. I don't know what is going on in Troutdale. Does anyone live in Troutdale, Oregon? Because I want to know what's going on there. Because anytime I have something in FedEx, it goes through Troutdale, and it sits there for at least a week. It just sits in Troutdale. Like someone's like playing with your packages for a week, and then they are like, finally, they're like, okay, we're done. I've had my fun. Let's finish this shipment. I don't know, but it's insane. Troutdale, Oregon. I almost want to go visit just to see what the heck is going on in that town. I thought I heard you weren't supposed to with the bigger bodied Corydoras with the smaller ones, or is that BS? Well, I wouldn't purposely go out and buy like pygmaeus Corydoras and like stir-by Corydoras and put them in the same tank. I have done it before just from moving around tanks and, you know, buying tanks that come with fish and you don't have any other options. They won't hurt each other. Like they're super peaceful fish. The only thing is like the bigger Corydoras are obviously going to have a lot easier time getting food, and they can out-compete the smaller Corydoras. Other than that, I mean, they're super peaceful. It's not a big deal. I will stare at a tank at the LFS for 15 minutes before I buy a fish. I think a lot of us are in the same boat, like whether we buy them or not. If we see a tank or a fish that we like or want, it's probably not uncommon to see a lot of us fish nerds just standing there staring at it. Not uncommon at all. Shipping is a nightmare these days. It's why I haven't resumed shipping myself. I do have some stuff that I could offer for sale on my website currently, but I don't want to. And I'm not even shipping live fish, and I still don't want to ship right now. A stir fry guy says, I ordered plants from multiple sources, and the last one to get shipped out was shipped out Tuesday, and nothing's come yet. It's crazy. Steve says, Bob, I also got Erytmodus this month. Ever kept them? I have, and it's one of the few Tanganyikans that I never got to breed, which, you know what, let me double check that. But that is the, is that the Tanganyikan goby fish? Am I thinking of the right scientific name? Yes. The Tanganyikan goby is easily one of my favorite gobies. I don't consider it like a goby like the algae eating goby or the orange fin goby, but it is, you know, technically a goby. But yeah, they're super awesome. They're supposed to be easy to breed. Corey from Aquarium co-op bred them, so that should tell you how much of a failure I am that they didn't breed for me. Because if he can breed them, anyone should be able to breed them. I mean, let's be real. But no, not me. But yeah, they're super awesome. You will love them. They have that goby personality. They're just awesome. I want to try breeding shell dwellers. I've had a colony in a 29-gallon, but never something as serious as your 50 low boy. I really wanted to push numbers. What's the best strategy? Any tips? Lots and lots and lots of shells. Lots of shells. Like, I would cover the whole bottom with shells. And then also, how are your mossy gecko babies doing? Camantha, they are doing amazing. I did have to break down and buy some crickets, which I hate, but the skinnier male was not going after dubia roaches. Only that big female. So hopefully. But anyways, back to the shell dwellers. Lots of shells and lots of food and lots of water changes. Did anyone see the video of the Union Pacific Railroad in LA? The C trains are being looted. Packages on the tracks for a mile. That's where all our missing packages are. Yeah. California is crazy right now. It's like open season on looting. It's crazy. Every time I go to the fish store, I almost always come back with a paradise gourami. I love them. I have 20 tanks so far. I have them in 20 tanks so far. That's crazy. What's my favorite floating plant? Red root floater. They have these little itty bitty white flowers on them, and I don't know, I just really like them. They don't get like insanely big, and they're easy to remove if you get too many of them, and if you have enough light and ferts and possibly iron, you actually get the red roots on them, which is neat. I've got a Blue Cat 42 says I've got a couple bumblebee gobies. Love watching them stick to the aquarium walls and plant leaves. Me too. Me too. And yep, they'll kind of just like perch on the side of the aquarium glass, even though there's nothing to perch onto. It's kind of crazy. You have any you have any dubia breeding tips? It's pretty easy. A lot of people make the problem of buying too many adults and then get overrun really fast. So it's kind of this weird thing with dubia roaches. Like, let's say you get like 10 of them, and it might take, if it seems like forever, and then all of a sudden you go from like 10 to like 1,000. It's really weird. But a lot of people will have those initial 10 for a while, and then like they're just not doing anything. I need more babies. They're not reproducing fast enough, so then they'll buy more. And then maybe they'll buy another group of adults, and then next thing you know, they got 1 billion of them. Just be patient. I would suggest foods that are high in calcium. Any vegetables, really, fruit or vegetables that are high in calcium, just to help with their exoskeletons. But they're super easy. I feed mine basically all leftovers. Like yesterday I made broccoli and I had some leftover broccoli, so I just throw it in the dubia bin. Lots of egg crates, and then also if you find that they're just not very active, or they just kind of sit around, they're not breeding, nothing's really happening, then you'll probably want to get them in a little warmer weather. Mine are in a fish room, so it's perfect. Plenty of heat in there. But if it's just like you have them in a tub in your garage and it's not heated, then it might just be too cold. So they do love warm weather. Steve says, I love multifasciatus, but at the moment I'm keeping a gold ocellatus. Those are very nice. Actually, my favorite shell dweller are the gold ocellatus. Medcal74 says, first time breeding Corydoras. Awesome. They hatch Tuesday. How long would you wait before you put them in a grow tank? I have them in a Dean-like fry holder. I would put them in a grow tank. I mean, it's, honestly, as soon as they lose their egg sac. That's when they're free swimming. That's when I'll move them. Granted, I guess it depends. Like, I wouldn't go from a breeder box or fry holder to like a 40-gallon aquarium, but I would definitely move them into like a 10-gallon as soon as they're free swimming. But that's kind of how I do all my fry, though. I was making a shrimp dinner tonight, and I minced up a pinch and gave some to my guppies and cherry shrimp. Yep. Yeah, I mean, so many times, like, I'll just throw in some random food that I had for dinner into my fish tanks or into my dubia roaches. What have you found to be the best food for near-ice snails and mystery snails other than algae and prepared foods? Prepared foods. When I was breeding mystery snails, I mean, I had a ton of them, and I was just doing cucumbers. Like, I was just throwing in cucumbers left and right. Cucumbers are always going to be my favorite for snails and like bristlenose plecos. Cucumbers, they're super cheap, and I don't know, I like them myself, so I'll eat some too. Can't go wrong. UPS You're Living the Dream says any non-member should join because I'll admit you won't regret Thursday member streams. Well, you probably will regret Thursday member streams because our member streams are not on Thursday. They are on Saturday. Saturday is our member streams. That probably explains why you haven't been to one in a very long time, because they're not on Thursdays. Oh, man. Boom, roasted. Chicken tuna. I just got a pair of Thorax Helleri. Blue Water Gym, awesome. Ooh, Marvin's Loach Garden says, what's the best filtration type for floating plants in your opinion? Most of my experience lead to one issue or another in aquaria. I imagine tubs are a bit more conducive. I've never had an issue with any filtration type. I've grown floating plants with hang-on backs, canisters, sponge. I've never had an issue with any of them. I don't know. Ever kept a Daphnia culture? Negative. Adams AZ Aquatics. I already have micro worms for guppy fry, but I noticed a ton of Daphne in one of my shrimp tanks, so I moved the shrimp and threw in yeast, and now I have a tank full. Nope, I've never done Daphnia. I've always done micro worms and vinegar eels. Outside of that, I've never had a need for anything else. Those just always work. Well, so much for waiting on Thursdays. Everyone just hanging out on Thursdays. I don't know where that came from, but all right. Aquatics says ordered 6 multi, 7 arrived, 1 DOA, 2 more died overnight. The remaining 4 are doing well. 10-gallon tank, aragonite substrate, 36 shells, dwarf water lettuce sponge filter. I have high hopes for them. Whew, must have had a rough time shipping. 4. Are you able to sex them yet? Hopefully. I would imagine with 4 you got decent odds of getting both male and female. Ian Clayton says, I have a master test kit. I'm using the Seachem Tanganyika buffer, but it only tests 8.8 pH. Is there a tester that goes above pH of 9? And what pH is good for Tanganyika setup? Ian, so, Lake Tanganyika runs 9 pH, 9.5 pH. You're going to find that lots of Tanganyikan fish in the hobby, especially if you're buying retail, are not nearly that high. So once upon a time, I had a few different species of shell dwellers. I had 6 different species of Cyprichromis. I had Paracyprichromis. My fish room at one point was like all Lake Tanganyikan fish. It was ridiculous. And I never think I had higher than an 8.0 pH, ever. I did use the Lake Tanganyikan buffer. I also used, the substrate. And what I found is that I was able to slowly acclimate them to more of a neutral pH over time. And as long as the pH was stable, they did just fine. And they still bred for me. But honestly, if your pH is over 8, they should be just fine. It shouldn't be a big deal at all. Like I said, I got mine down to a pH of 7, and my Cyprichromis and my Paracyprichromis were just breeding nonstop in 7 pH water. That's some good water. Have I watched Jacob Cichlids on YouTube? Keeps a vast assortment of tangs. I will look right now. Jacob's Cichlids. I might have. Let's see. Nothing's coming up. Did I get that right? Must be a smaller channel. I'll have to dig into it afterwards. You used to go Thursdays? Yes, I used to go Thursdays, but it wasn't a members-only stream. It was for everyone. Jason's... Oh, you know what? I don't think I typed in Jason. I think I typed in Jacob. Yep. That's the problem. Jason's Cichlids. There we go. There he is. Oh, don't play his video. I don't want to get copyright. Alright, I will check this out after the stream. I do love my Lake Tanganyikans. Plus you get cool member milestone super chats like these and nifty gifties. No, you don't get nifty gifties. It is a fun time in the Saturday streams, although we rarely talk fish, so just keep that in mind. Species I could add to an outdoor pond in Southern California. I've had golden white clouds breeding in there for years. Looking to add something else. Thanks. I mean, in Southern California, you could probably do just about anything, right? Like, I don't know, you could throw in some endlers. I've done endlers in white clouds before. I've done rainbows in white clouds outside before. I've done shrimp, which I will never put shrimp outside again. What else? I've done bristlenose plecos outside if you want like a bottom dweller. You could do like peppered Corydoras. Would be another good bottom dweller. Can you talk about Parkinsoni and Deepwater Creek rainbow fish, please? Is there something specific you'd like to know? I mean, Parkinsoni are easily not easily, but my second favorite rainbow fish, and I have a pretty good sized colony of them right now. I love them. Deep water creek rainbows I haven't kept for a very long time. But both are super friendly, super active, schooling fish like any typical rainbow. They're super awesome. But if there's something specific, like, should I buy them? The answer is yes. Mr. James, you should buy them. The member stream is its own nifty gifty. Last time I watched a fish live stream was you, Corey, and LR Bretts at the Chicago Aquatic Experience. Whoa, that was a long time ago. I'm glad you're still kicking butt and look forward to watching more. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it. That was a long time ago. Oh, the good old days. The good old days. Too coolie for schoolie. Is a 29-gallon too small for 10 dwarf neon rainbows? If it's really overplanted, they need swim room. Yes. If it's like super crowded, I probably wouldn't keep them in a 29-gallon myself, even if it wasn't like overcrowded with plants. They're a really fast swimming fish, and they love to school, so that it's just not that much room. Speaking of dance fish, there he is right there. I'm a-lurking while I'm a-working. Thanks for the entertainment while I get stuffs done. There you go. Dan the man himself. Zenginger says, speaking of praycocks, could you put them in a 20-gallon? Same answer. Yes, technically you could, but having kept them in larger tanks, I can see a huge difference in their behavior. So it's not something I would do, but a lot of people do. So there you go. Just personal preference for me. It's night and day difference seeing a praycox and even like a 40 breeder than a 20 or a 29. But if you put them in like a 55, they just shine. They're going to go zipping back and forth all day long. They're really fun to watch. Lisa, the plant on top is a moonlight. We talking about this one up here in the dark? I always keep that plant in the dark, and it just grows and grows and grows. Like there's no light, and it's almost to the floor. Disregard my question? What? Oh, yeah. What do you mostly feed your cherry shrimp? I'm feeding tetracolor granules and Bacter AE. So when I had my breeding fish for profit, is when I had like my just thousands of cherry shrimp. I did do the tetracolor granules. They loved it. It was super easy. But since I also had bristlenose plecos in there, there was lots of vegetables going in there too. And of course the shrimp would eat those as well. Shelly tankmates. Cyprichromis. They're a top-dwelling fish. They're a schooling fish, and they're really fun fish. They're called sardine cichlids because they're long and skinny, and they love to school. Lisa, still younger than Funk? Well, I don't know. It is her birthday, so maybe not anymore. And by the way, happy birthday, Lisa. Good to see you. Hope you're enjoying this special day. DeFreeze, a.k.a. Rob. Does the middle of your eyes ever itch, like right here? I don't know why. Itching. So, I have a 40 breeder with Priscilla tetras, pencilfish, and dwarf anchor catfish. Thinking about getting a twig catfish and maybe a licorice gourami. Might throw in a peacock gudgeon as well. I'm all for twig catfish. Licorice gourami, not my favorite fish, but whatever. If you like them, get one. And peacock gudgeon, I probably wouldn't do just one. I'd probably get a couple of them. One betta for every time Bob wishes you a happy birthday. Does that mean I get a free betta every time it's her birthday? Did you get some Lake Itinjo fry back from Bentley? Negative. I don't know whatever happened to those. Last time I talked to him, like 2 years ago about those, he said they hadn't bred yet. And yeah, I don't know whatever happened to those. But he was doing me a favor by taking them temporarily and turned it into permanently. So he did me a favor. Whether I ever got fry back or not, it's not important. I did have to make room. Okay. Open to suggestions from Bob or the chat. Any ideas of a good tank mates for 7 cherry barbs in a 20-gallon? Tall or long? I know barbs can be nippy, so I'm worried about a betta, and my husband wants cool fish. I guess that would depend on what is cool to your husband. What is cool to your husband? Any tips on sexing electric blue Acara? One is bullying the other a little bit, but no mating behavior. Makes me think I probably have 2 males. The electric blue Acara I have never really kept. I brought him in and sold him one time, and that was it. But the males should just be a little bit larger, which obviously, if you don't know how old they are, that's not going to help much. But I'm definitely not an expert on electric blue Acaras. 20 tall. Well, I think you definitely need some Corydoras for sure. What would I do? You have 7 cherry barbs. I would probably do some hatchet fish. I do love myself some hatchet fish and some Corydoras. You ever get your snake back? Negative. I also have not got my snake back either, but they haven't bred yet, so we're still working on getting them to breed. I might do one or a group of peacock gudgeon. They're just one of those species that get thrown in all my tanks. If you already, you already have peacock gudgeons in other tanks. I mean, they're super cool. I would always recommend peacock gudgeons. There you go, Zen Ginger. Peacock gudgeons. He thought Pracox rainbows were cool, hence the previous question, but that's obviously a no-go. He also likes aggressive cichlids, so that's a no too. I would go for peacock gudgeons. 100%. They can definitely stand up to your barbs if they were to get nippy. K-Stu says it's roughly our 1-year anniversary, Bob, so you're going to send cake? If you don't want to bake, I guess I can accept a dozen stir-by cories. Thanks. You know, when I get to breeding stir-by cories, that may be a possibility. I still have literally thousands of dollars worth of shipping supplies in storage. So I'm still well equipped to ship fish if it ever comes to that. UPS You're Living the Dream says, how are the new leaf-tailed geckos? They are doing amazing. They are eating. They are drinking. They are super active at night. I can hear them jumping around sometimes, so that's pretty fun. During the day, they just sit flat. They just flatten themselves out. But at night, I can't hear them roaming around. So it's pretty fun. Ellen says, I've never bought fish online. Looking for 6 angelfish. No luck at local stores. What site would you suggest? Well, actually, I'm not sure. I do have a pinned comment linked to Dan's Fish here, which is who I wholeheartedly recommend. But I don't think there's any angelfish here. I could be wrong. I'll look. Oh my god. Of course, there's like 100 angelfish here. So just know, if you click on that link, a lot of these are some pretty rare type angelfish, and so the price is going to reflect that. But there's lots of pretty fancy angelfish on here. This double dark angelfish is pretty cool. Well, I guess I could just show you guys what I'm looking at here, right? Right. Where am I at here? Let's go here. Where is Firefox? There we go. Maybe. There we go. Here we go. This double dark angelfish, that's kind of neat. But here they all are. I've never actually seen this type before. Right here. Double dark. Is there Leopoldi? Leopoldi are my favorite. These ones are pretty nice. These wild. I like those. don't see Leopoldi. Anyways, there you go. Click that link. Buy some nice angelfish. Oh, wait. Wait, these are not in stock. Ha! Ha! I'm good. I'm good at this website. I missed this little wish list spot right here. But there you go. Sometimes, I guess, but now they're all out of stock, so... Psych! Never mind. Here's my favorite Apistos. $14 is an excellent price. Dan, you should get these back in stock. At $14, that is amazing. Anyways, I lied. None of these are in stock. I'm an idiot. Let's move on. Moving on. Let's see. Finland pruning. Oh, Finland. Finished pruning some plants. Fed the dogs. And was snacking on Triscuits and cheese. And then ate cheese and mushroom omelet after Bob retires for the evening. Hi, back at you. Mary. Good evening, Bob, Mods, Dream Team, and Chatty Cathy's. Ruhini, who I probably pronounced your name completely wrong, says, has anyone here bred zebra danios? Negative. So what's getgills.com, right? Is this the here we go. Let's see. Looking at Get Gills. Any angelfish on Get Gills? Any Tiffany White angelfish on Get Gills? Lots of angelfish on getgills.com. I don't see Tiffany White anywhere, though. Tiffany White. I don't see Tiffany White. Well, there you go. Getgills.com. Dan doesn't have peacock gudgeons in stock either. Bob, digging that plant shelf. Yeah, it's pretty empty right now. That's all right. What else do we got? Regina Phalange says, I got some wild angels from Dan's Fish. They are amazing. The $18 ones, that seems really cheap for wild angel fish. Dan's Fish, my puffers are doing awesome. Awesome blossom. Hello, Lisa at KG Tropicals. When are you getting more alien bettas? I want a pair so bad. Xanadudu. I only ship fish during the warm months. Tiffany White. There you go. That's not a bad idea. That Pandura is on my list to go with my rainbow fish. Do they work with an angel? Yes, Lisa. Rainbows, Pandora, or Apistos, and angelfish will all do well in the same tank. Go, Dan, go. Go, Dan, go. Xanadu. I had some last week and sold out in one day. Sounds like you need to order some more. So when you're done celebrating your birthday, order some more. Regina says they weren't $18. Oh. Well, they're $18 now. Oh, man. Does anybody love water as much as I do? Hey, Dan's still here. At Zen Ginger, I can get peacock gudgeons, but the price has tripled. So I'm waiting for it to stabilize. All right, back to lurking and working. That got me curious. Now I'm going to look. Delivered for... Oh, wait. Where am I looking here? All right, I'm going to pull up my list. Nope, not reptiles. No, saltwater, freshwater. Here we go. And see if they got any. Ooh, Pandagaras. Holy smokes, are those expensive now. Holy smokes, that is peacock gudgeons of... Wow. So, back when I was selling fish in 2019, wow. These are 4 times more than what I used to pay for them, wholesale. Holy smokes. Top hat blennies have not gone up in price, though. Wow, I can't believe they are wholesale more expensive than what I sold them for retail now. That's insane. Insane. Boy, I'm glad I don't look at wholesale lists anymore because that is depressing. Let's see. Susie Q says, I love my Pandagaras. Me too. What's that? A half-gallon Yeti? Now that's a man's jug. It is a half-gallon. However, it is definitely not Yeti. I would never buy a Yeti product. But that's just me. If you own Yeti, then hey, good for you. Aquatic Arts has them in stock, and I do as well. Let's see what Aquatic Arts is selling them for. Aquatic Arts. Oops. Enter your search terms. Their website's kind of clunky, I'm not going to lie, but that's alright. It's way better than it used to be. Oh, jeez, $13 for peacock gudgeons. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Price of fish keeping's going up, folks. I guess I should start pulling the caves those gudgeon males are guarding. Yes. If you have peacock gudgeons, I would definitely start breeding them. That's crazy. I cannot believe that. So overrated. Yeti is overpriced. Yeti's 5-gallon bucket is like $40. Hold the phone. Besides the price tag, what's wrong with Yeti? A 5-gallon bucket is $40. That's what's wrong with Yeti. Do you need to say more? Like, jeez. Even if I had like 1 million subs, I don't think I would spend money on Yeti. Like, I don't get it. And then they're let's see. Yeti 5-gallon bucket. Where is it at? I want to see exactly how much it is. Yeah, $39.99. And they're saying it's nearly indestructible. How much more indestructible does a 5-gallon bucket need to be? Like, then they advertise like, oh, even bears can't take the lid off. Have you ever tried to take a lid off a 5-gallon bucket, like a Home Depot one? It's already damn near impossible. What more do you need? And they're like $5 at Home Depot, if that. Sometimes they're free. Coastal Farm and Ranch gives them away for free sometimes. It's crazy. Why do I need a $40 5-gallon bucket? I don't know. I don't know, Matthew. I just, I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe I'm not hip enough. Maybe I'm not bougie enough. Yeti bucket in here. I thought you were talking about the mics. That as well, I would never buy. A Yeti mic. Not for me. Well, I don't know what to tell you how much I dropped on the Yeti cooler. Like, seriously, the Yeti cooler? Oh, man. It's insane. My hillstream loaches chase the Panagara and goldfish occasionally. Hillstream loaches are funny animals. They seriously couldn't hurt a fly, but sometimes they sure think they can. Igloo coolers are pretty cool in my opinion. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Yeti should do a $1 per gallon sale. That's so funny. Bob just has to get more bougie. I'm not bougie enough. It's true. I don't think Bob has actually used any Yeti. I don't need to use a $40 5-gallon bucket to know that it's not worth $40. I don't. I have used Yeti products because other people I know have Yeti, and again, I don't understand the price tag. I don't. If we sent you a Yeti cup, if you ever set up a P.O. box, would you use it? I mean, if it's free, but if it's a cup, probably not. If it's like a water bottle like this, probably. But look at this thing. Where's that? Okay. This. The Yeti version of this is how much? Let's see. Let's just see how much this is. Is it a tumbler? Is that what these things are called? No, I don't want a tumbler. I want a water bottle. 36 ounce. Yeti 36 ounce bottle. $50 freaking dollars. $50. This I bought for like $14 on Amazon. And I could put a cold beverage in here and sit it out in the sun all day. So this thing is like burning hot to touch at the end of the day. And it's still cool on the inside. And it was a fraction of the cost of a Yeti. I don't get it. I don't get it. Found a good deal on fish stuff on Amazon yesterday. Foam for an AquaClear 53 pack for $1.71. That actually goes on sale quite a bit. That only had 3 in stock. Got all of them, but found them for AquaClear 30 for $1.99. You got 6. Yeah, those foam AquaClear things on Amazon, I swear it's like bi-monthly. Those things go for crazy cheap. All my Yeti products were 1, except for the tea mug I got for Le Girlfriend. No one should be buying 5-gallon buckets in 2022. Need to recycle. I do have a lot of 5-gallon buckets. A lot. Wrong button. What'd I do? I forgot about my hotkeys. That'll happen. Hydro Flask is another overhyped brand. Yeah, all of these, like the Yeti coolers, you can buy at Alibaba. You can buy like a whole pallet of them for the same price as just buying one retail. And then, you know, it doesn't say Yeti on it, but I don't know. I'd be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed to walk around with like a Yeti 32 ounce. I'd be like, yeah, look at all you poors. You don't have a Yeti and I do. Poor people, you suck. I get 5-gallon buckets at work for free. I need to start selling them. Yeah, so the Coastal Farm and Ranch, I don't know if you have one of those stores, but every once in a while they have a sale where anything you can fit in the 5-gallon bucket, you get like 20% off. And then you get the bucket for free. It's pretty awesome. So I've got a couple of those buckets. It doesn't apply to ammo though. It kind of sucks. Am I sick? Yes. I've been sick for a while. Been sick for a while. Put a bunch of your fish stuff on Camel to see when they go on sale. I love it, cheap things, but deals are the best. Yep. I like my Coleman cooler. Plug in one way and it cools. Plug in the other way and it warms. And it runs on 12 volts DC. My grandma buys me a Yeti water bottle every year for my birthday. We'll see if, like, gifts are different, though. Gifts are totally different. Like, if someone I knew, like, a family member or a friend was like, I want a Yeti water bottle for my birthday. I'm like, all right, it's your birthday. I won't question it, but for me, never happening. Never. I use the Arctic brand from Walmart. Arctic, get it? Arctic. Half the price and works just as good. I'll have a 5-gallon bucket. Oh, I get them for free at work. I don't own a 5-gallon bucket somehow. So that's crazy. As a fish keeper, you don't own a 5-gallon bucket? That's almost unheard of. UPSer living the dream says, does anyone have experience with Amazon puffers? Yes, I do. I think Bob has a lot of experience with them, so that's why I'm asking the chat. I don't think Bob has a lot of experience with them. Well, joke's on you, because I have kept them for quite a while. But when you're asking, you should ask a specific question. Like, hey, what's wrong with my Amazon puffer? Well, I don't know, because you can't diagnose things online. Any tips on making a nano air pump manifold? I'm trying to add water flow to plant bins that don't need much. I mean, the only air pump manifold I've ever built, I just use 1-inch PVC for my central air pump, my air piston pump. Bob, is it true that Mabu puffers live in Lake Tanganyika? Well, they're like, kind of. So they're from a river that flows into Lake Tanganyika. So yes, they can be found in Lake Tanganyika. They do like higher pH and, you know, higher mineral content. Dude, read my best comment. I don't know what your best comment is. Which one do you think is your best comment? I don't know. That's un-American to not have a bucket. Maybe he's not American. Maybe he's Canadian. That seems like a very Canadian thing to not have a bucket. I don't know. How dare you? I'm offended. Surfire Guy says I have 60 plus tanks and I don't have one. They're just so useful. Like, I use a 5-gallon bucket for everything. It's crazy. Bob knows a lot of fish, but I need to know if 3 or 6 are better kept in a planted 55-gallon with rainbow fish community. Amazon puffers. Okay, here's your answer, all right? You either buy 1 or you buy 6. You don't buy 2, you don't buy 3, you don't buy 4. You buy 1 or you buy a group. That's how Amazon puffers work. There is a factory around the corner from my work that makes pies, and they have skids of 5-gallon buckets that had pie filling in them. In the road, like giving them away. A good scrub, and they're good to go for free. Nice. You're not kidding. They actually sell buckets for $50 Canadian. Yeah. And their reasoning is that they're super tough. Like, you could sit on them and they won't break. I weigh like 280 pounds. I have stood on 5-gallon buckets. I have sat on them. I have pooped in them. Literally have never broken one at 280 pounds. So why do I need a $50 or $40 5-gallon bucket? Give me a break. Jeez. Xanadudu at Upper Aquatics, formerly Biscottia Nunya. I use an old siphon house tube with several adjustable outlets for air supply on my breeder rack, similar to the PVC options, but it was free. Yeah, basically, you buy the little adjustable air valves, you get yourself an appropriate size PVP. I mean, like, if you're just doing a smaller one, like 1/2 inch, and you just drill the little holes in them, you screw them down. I thought maybe I had some, but I don't, of the actual little adjustable valves. They just screw right in. Really easy. I got a 10-pack of 5-gallon buckets on Amazon for $50 with lids. Mm-hmm. Can I trim corkscrew valve straight across the water level? Yes. Yep, absolutely. All valve, you can just cut it wherever you want. Well, I mean, you don't want to cut it like an inch away from the roots, but, you know, give it like 4 or 5 inches and you can cut anywhere above that. Same here, Bob. I'm 275 and stank on buckets all the time. Stand on buckets all the time. Yeah, I mean, I use them like little step ladders. I don't get it. You know what would be funny is if, like, I actually got a Yeti bucket and broke it. Like, that's how I see that playing out. Like, okay, maybe I just don't know. Maybe there's something about this bucket I don't know. I'm going to drop the $40 plus tax, stand on it, and it's probably going to crack or something stupid like that. I feel like the people that buy Yeti buckets are the people that buy, like, Bose speakers. Like, they're just buying the name, like, because Bose sucks compared to some way cheaper brands. Price for price, I mean, you know. All right, Ginger Gumbo with a $5 super chat says, any recommendations for a Pleco to put in a tank with my L109? I think that's the L number. I don't think that is the L number. But any Pleco that's not a common Pleco. I cannot give you a recommendation because I don't know what size your tank is. Right? Makes a big difference. Regina says, I'm no stranger to peeing in a 5-gallon bucket, but pooping, not yet. Yeah, I got a 5-gallon bucket with one of those toilet lids that snap onto it for when I go camping. You know, whatever. They come with, like, you put the disposable bag in the middle. Good to go. You know? It beats digging a hole. Ice fishing gear gets brought out in a 5-gallon bucket, doubles as your chair. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm trying to get 500 or 600-gallon fish tank to get 2 different catfish, redtail and normal catfish, and 2 arowanas. I think a lot of people would like a 600-gallon fish tank. I would. Bougie Bucket Fund. Fish Tank Barn, member for 38 months. That's crazy. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. I pooped in a 5-gallon. Awesome camp option when you can't dig a pit. Yeah, I agree. Bears can't break the Yeti buckets, but can the Sasquatch of Washington do it? Possibly. Matt says, I enjoyed the Monster Leaf-tailed Gecko video. Bob, I'm glad. I think like 900 people have watched it, and that's it. But that's all right. I'm changing my video strategy to making, I almost said shit, making stuff I want to make and not what I think YouTube will like. So I don't even care about views anymore. So suck it, YouTube. Anyways, I guess I should finish reading that comment. I enjoyed the Monster Leaf-tailed Gecko video, Bob. Always thought they were on the coolest looking gecko species. One of the coolest. I agree. Their camouflage is insane. I agree. And I can't wait for them to start pooping out babies. And, is one... Bob, stop. I'm eating dinner and listening. Nasty. Yeah, because girls don't poop, right? All right, guys. Like I said, I'm only going for an hour tonight. I'm a little under the weather, so Amanda, you're just in time for me to log off. I'm late tonight. Did everyone already talk about how much they want a cool gecko? Love that one. It looks like a leaf. Yes. New Sasquatch documentary on Hulu. Have you seen it? No, surprisingly, I don't enjoy a lot of Sasquatch content. Really, the only Sasquatch content I watch is from a channel called Strange But True. And then also, like Les Stroud, I'll watch his Sasquatch content. But really, a lot of it I just don't enjoy outside of that. Oh, excuse me. I tried sharing your gecko video. Thank you for trying. I appreciate it. When I get my house built, I'm getting 2 tanks like Joey's 2000 built in. That would be fun. That would be really fun. There you go, good Steenfott poopy bucket. All right. I guess I just need to brand my own bucket and start selling them for $40 because apparently people are buying them. I don't know. Paul says the geckos are awesome. They really are. All right, Regina Phalange says, I hope you feel better soon. Have a good night. Yeah, it's just lingering, stuffed up, and it's kind of annoying to talk for this long, so that's why I'm only going an hour. I'll try to make up for it, maybe do another hour later this week. But otherwise, thanks everyone for coming out. I really enjoy you all hanging out with me for an hour. It's always a lot of fun. And hopefully I will see you later this week, or the members